Hey, it's Dab. Welcome to a 1 hour flow power, depending on what you're looking for today, yoga class. All right, come to a tall seat or into child's pose. And start to land. Check in with what's going on inside. Notice if you're vibrating or if you're feeling pretty calm and grounded. Notice if your breath is pretty quick or if it's slow and steady. And notice any emotions that are going on. All of this without judgment. Just to see where you're beginning your practice today. And slowly over time, developing this ability to recognize where we're at, acknowledge it, and learn to be with it. Begin to cultivate your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through your nostrils. And if it helps, you can bring your focal point maybe to the tips of your nostrils or any other place that you feel your breath. Maybe in your chest or your belly. Follow your inhales and your exhales where you feel sensation. And if you need to stay here in this place of calming and grounding and stillness a little bit longer, you can pause this video as long as you need. And if and when you're ready, you can press play and we'll get with it. I will give you a little warning. I have children upstairs, so if you hear loud sounds or yelling, that is a possibility. You are warned. So find downward facing dog. And now would be a good time also to start your playlist. And if I haven't sent you a playlist, let me know. I can send you a playlist. So keep your Ujjayi breath going. If you need to be still, you be still. And especially I find when my mind is really busy or I've had a lot going on, movement is necessary, at least at the beginning, to start helping me calm down, to start helping me ground. So you can lift your heels and bend your knees, or you can wrap your heels to either side. Or maybe it's time to be still. Again, not placing judgment, but just recognizing where you're at and what you need today out of your practice. Why did you show up? If you need to get clear about that now, may be helpful continuing to take that through your practice. Maybe picking a word as a mantra that you can repeat on your exhales to hold clarity. From down dog, shift forward to high plank. You hold high plank. I'm just going to take my long sleeve shirt off. And downward facing dog. Shift forward to high plank. Hover your right toes, so lift your right toes just to hover off of your mat. You can flex or point, or right now I'm just circling my toes, doing a few ankle circles. And then switch sides, right toes down, left toes lift. Release your left toes. Downward facing dog. And from down dog, walk your hands to the back of your mat for a forward fold. Your feet can be hip distance or wider. And then any kind of arm variation that you'd like. Some people like to clasp their hands behind their head. I like to clasp my hands at my low back. And then release your hands back to your mat if they're lifted. Walk yourself back to downward facing dog. From down dog, shift forward to high plank. And in your high plank, bring your right knee to your right elbow. Bring your right knee to your right wrist. Bring your right knee to your left wrist. Bring your right knee to your left elbow. And then bring your right knee back to your right elbow. And three-legged dog. And downward facing dog. For all of that tomfoolery on the other side, shift forward to high plank. Hold it here. And then bring your left knee to your left elbow. Left knee to left wrist. Left knee to right wrist. Left knee to right elbow. And then left knee to left elbow. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog or child's pose. Exhale. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you arrive. Inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, rise to stand and reach up. Exhale, fold to your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant your hands, Chaturanga, low push-up on your exhale. Inhale, take cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You got a couple of breaths here. So down dog can be interchangeable with child's pose, a high plank hold, or handstands. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, handstand, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, fold to your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, low push-up on your exhale. Cobra, up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. One more sun A like that. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you arrive. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, fold to your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, low push-up. Exhale. Cobra, up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Chair pose, bend your knees, drop your hips. You can do anything you'd like here with your arms. You can have your arms beside your ears. I often like to clasp my hands at my low back or bring my hands to prayer in front of my chest. I also like to lift all 10 toenails to make sure I'm not leaning way too far forward. So that I've got my weight distributed evenly between my big toe joint, pinky toe mound, and both edges of my heel. Take an inhale here. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Knee comes down, low lunge. Inhale. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step your left leg, back it up into the sky. Straight leg or bent leg, both are fine. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bring your left knee to your left elbow. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, knee to your right upper arm. Three-legged dog. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot to your left hand. Back knee down, low lunge. I'm going to keep my arms upright, but you can take any variation. Side bend, anything, hands clasped with your palms, etc. Take an inhale here. Exhale, release. Step to the top of your mat, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Maybe lip putter on your exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Inhale here. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step your left leg to the back of your mat, knee comes down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, three-legged dog. Plant your hands, right leg back and up. Stack your hips, bent leg or straight. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your knee to your right upper arm. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, knee to your left upper arm. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, right foot to right hand, back knee down, low lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up. Maybe you can hear my kids. We're gonna have to just breathe and focus on Ujjayi. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Step to the top of your mat. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. For a side bend, bring your right hand to your left wrist, arms reach right, hips reach left. If you prefer, you can bring your right hand to your hip. Brings in a bit deeper of an opening, a bit less strength in this variation. You can also lean weight into one foot and hover the other. Inhale, back upright. Exhale, bend your elbows and knees. Switch the grip of your hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend, other side. Inhale, rise back up to center. Bring your feet to touch and sit into chair pose with hands at prayer in front of your chest. Take an inhale here. Exhale, twist right, left elbow to outer right thigh. Inhale to center, stay in your chair pose. Exhale, twist, other side. Full cycle of breath. Inhale, stay, exhale. On your inhale, come back to chair pose. Fold forward, bring your feet hip distance. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe a sigh or lip putter. Exhale. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach up. Exhale, fold to your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga, low push-up on your exhale. You can always double dip or skip these. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your right hand. On an inhale, with your base steady, rise up for high lunge. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bend your left knee towards the earth, but don't touch down. Inhale, press up. Moving with breath. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend and hover. Hold it hovering. This time, lower your knee all the way down. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, bending your back leg. Reach around and grab your ankle for a thigh stretch. Release your back toes, tuck them under. Hanumanasana Splits. Start straightening out your right leg, lift your right toes. You can be in half or full or an in-between variation. And most of you have practiced with me before, but if you're having lower energy than this class is bringing or higher energy, you adjust accordingly. And if you ever have questions about these videos or variations or postures, just let me know. All right, from splits pose, you're gonna plant your hands and do core, knee to nose. So you're gonna bring your knee to your nose, lift your heel towards your sit bones. So see if you can bring your forehead or nose to your knee. And you can dome your upper back. From here, back to high plank. Take an inhale, chaturanga, exhale. Cobra up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. So here's your home base. If you need to shake out your head, walk it out. Sometimes I like to dance in down dog. Maybe you need to lion's breath or keep a steady ujjayi. Just check in. It's a built-in check-in point in your yoga class. From down dog, inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to your left hand. Set your base. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee to hover off of the earth. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. This time, lower your right knee to hover and hold it here. And then lower your right knee all the way down. Left hand to left thigh. Right hand reaches around, bending your right knee. Grab onto your right foot for a thigh stretch. And with your left hand, I'm going to keep my hand on my thigh, but if you want to reach your left arm up to the sky or bring it to your back foot or to the back of your head, feel free to explore. Hanumanasana Splits. Slowly release your back toes, tuck them under, start straightening out your front leg, working into your variation of splits. It's quite common, being human, I think, that when we get still, whether in our minds, more like in our bodies, when we are physically still, our minds want to get busy and think and do. And so especially when we find our bodies still in yoga postures, we need to become more intentional about feeling and following our inhales and exhales. From Hanumanasana, plant your hands, tuck your back toes, bring your knee to your nose, core plank. And if you can reach your forehead, you can bring your knee to your forehead. You dome your upper back as much as you need to. High plank. Taking an inhale at the top. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog. Here's your check-in point. From down dog, inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your right hand. Inhale for high lunge. Release your hands to clasp at your low back. Two options, knuckles placed into your low back, and then you press your elbows toward each other while you open up your chest. You can also extend your arms towards straight, pressing the heel of your palms together, and then imagine your knuckles pulling you towards the floor. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bow your chest to your right thigh. Maybe your chest comes inside your right thigh. Continue pulling your right hip back towards square. If it doesn't feel good to keep your hands lifted and clasped, you can release them to the earth, maybe like so. To release, we're going to move into Vashi. So plant your left hand, roll to the outside edge of your left foot. You're facing the right side of your mat. Lift your right arm up to the sky. I've got a bit of a sore thumb, so I'm going to lower my forearm. which is always an option. You can keep your right foot planted in front of your hips. You can also stack your feet. Take an inhale here. Release on your exhale. You can flow through a vinyasa. You can hold dog. You can move from Vashi into Kundinyasana B. You've got options. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to your left hand. Inhale for high lunge. Release your hands, opposite weave of your fingers this time, to clasp at your low back, whether knuckles in low back or arms straight. Take an inhale. Exhale, bow your chest to maybe inside your left leg. Keep pulling your left hip back, and either you keep your hands clasped, or if it feels better with them on the earth, release your fingertips to the earth. From here, Vashistasana. Plant your right hand, roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Your left foot can stay stepped in front of your hips, planted in front of your hips, or you can stack your feet. And because I did my forearm on the other side, I'm going to do it here. Take an inhale. Release on your exhale, your choice. Downward facing dog, vinyasa, child's pose, etc. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Spin your back heel down, parallel to the short edge of your mat. And on an inhale, rise up for warrior two. Make sure you're pressing your right knee over your second toe. Your knee will want to tip over to the left. Keep pressing it up. Exalted warrior two, left arm to left thigh. Right arm to the sky. And then from here, triangle pose. Move through warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Reach your hips back. Your right arm reaches super far forward. So one variation that I like to take is with my right hand reaching the top for the top corner of the room. I bring my left arm beside my ear. And I usually take a few breaths here, working some core strength and some lengthening in my right side. Then I lower my right hand down towards the earth, whether it's a block, shin, or to the earth. Another variation that can feel really good is bringing your left hand here to your low back. You really feel it in the top of your left hip area. Next stop is going to be lizard pose. Release both of your hands inside your right leg. Walk your feet out until they're hip distance. So I like to keep my hips high and bow my chest low. Many people prefer back knee down or foot out to an angle, etc. So any kind of hip-related stretch here is totally fine. That's the point. If you are keeping your hips high and bowing your chest low, you can bring your right hand to the back of your right ankle to press as much of your right shoulder behind your leg as you can. You can also TED fingertips to the wood, or in my case, concrete, or you can bind at your low back. Keep pulling your right hip back in this case to square your hips. You can either stay another few breaths in your hip stretch. If you would like Hanumanasana B, you're gonna plant your hands shoulder distance. Get your right knee to your right upper arm and then lift your right foot off the earth. Next step, Chaturanga, bend your elbows. If you can get your left elbow underneath your left ribs, that makes it easier strength-wise. Then you start by like kind of hovering forward and then maybe tipping a bit. From there, you can hop back, step back to your vinyasa, take a breather in child's pose. If your breath is starting to get labored, and come back to your intention. Come back to your intention from the beginning of class. And then remind yourself that things are fluid. It might be different. What you need now might be different. From down dog, inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Spin your back heel down parallel to the short edge of your mat. And on an inhale, rise up, warrior two. Remember to keep pressing your knee over your second toe on your left leg. And keep that action strong while you work into exalted warrior two, right arm to right leg, left arm up into the sky for a side bend. For triangle pose, come through warrior two, extend your left leg straight, hips press back, left arm reaches super far forward. I'm doing the core variation first, you do not need to. Now I'm going to release my left hand towards the earth. And for me, I like to release my right arm beside my right ear. I find a really nice stretch in my right hip area. If you brought your right hand to your low back or to your right side, you can try that out now. And then lizard pose. Release your hands inside your left leg. Walk your left foot out, lift your back heel. And if you're following my variation, hips high, chest lowers. If you're following your own, do your own thing. And then left hand behind left ankle to work over time your left shoulder, maybe even your head behind your left leg. Maybe you 10 fingertips, maybe you bind. Either you hold your hip stretch a little bit longer, or if you would like Hanumanasana, hands plant shoulder distance, left knee to left upper arm, lift your left leg, bend your elbows, and then you hover and lift. If you're working stamina, hold that as long as you can. When you're done, you can flow, you can rest, you can be still. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your right hand. Inhale for high lunge. Inhale here. Warrior two on your exhale. For extended side angle, reach your right arm forward. Option one, right forearm to right thigh. And notice if you kind of sink and relax a bit, keep pressing down. Sweep your left arm beside your left ear. This can be extended side angle with your right hand to the earth. This can be Vishvamittrasana, a bound, half moon, or triangle. It could be bird of paradise. So don't let, a variation limit you if you're wanting more, if you're wanting to explore. Rise up, straighten your right leg, bring your hands to your hips, turn your right toes in. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. You can bring your hands to your ankles or bring your hands between your legs and pull yourself through. If you have an inversion practice, you're welcome to take that. To release, walk your hands back to the top of your mat, step back to high plank. If you've got lots of energy, maybe you want to bring in a few push-ups here or an arm balance or handstand. You can also skip your vinyasa and press back to child's pose. You just want to move and breathe. Take an inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to your left hand. On an inhale, rise, high lunge. Inhale here, warrior two, exhale. For extended side angle, left arm reaches forward, forearm to thigh, sweep your right arm beside your ear. And then you add on if this is not enough for you today. And you scale back if this is too much for you today, or if you're injured, etc. This practice is about finding center, coming closer to home. So adjust your physical postures so that you can do that. Rise up. Turn your left toes in. I'm going to give you two options. One is goddess squat. Toes are out, heels are in, and you squat, reaching your arms up like this. The other one is I'm just going to turn around so you can see. The other one is you put your hands on your thighs. This is more of a stretch. You press your knees out over your second toe, and then you can stretch your shoulders and lower one shoulder for a little bit, or you can pulse with breath, whatever feels good. And then from there, you're going to windmill your hands to the top of your mat, step back to high plank. So same options as last time. Check out your energy level and what you need from your practice right now, and then you adjust accordingly. If you're vinyasa-ing, take an inhale, Chaturanga, exhale, inhale, up dog, exhale, down dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your right hand. Back heel down, warrior one. Inhale to rise. Bend your left elbow. Right hand comes to left elbow for a shoulder stretch. You can work into a full bind, bring your right hand behind your back as well. And then from there, if you'd like to bring in a side bend, it's a bit of a different stretch. It's an added stretch. It may not be necessary. You can bring in a bit of a side bend, leaning your torso over to the right side of your mat. Come back to center, reach your arms up. We're working into eagle pose. So wrap your left arm underneath your right. You can hold shoulders if this feels best. You can also bind your hands, lift your back heel. With chair pose in your right leg, stack your left thigh over top of your right. If this doesn't feel good, you can do standing pigeon or standing figure four, which I apparently can't balance in today. We're gonna untangle from here and step your left leg all the way back to high lunge. Place your toes. Yay. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer in front of your chest. Inhale here. Exhale, twist right, left elbow to outer right thigh. I like to bring my knee down here. But as long as you're twisting the spine, which is the point, you can take any spinal twist you like. Full cycle of breath. Inhale. Stay, exhale. On your inhale, unwind. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back and up into three-legged dog. If you'd like to flip your dog, lift your left heel high, lift your right hand, and release your right foot off of your mat. This can also be full wheel. You can hover your right toes. You can lift your right leg straight up into the sky, playing with balance. When you're ready for down dog, make your way there. If you would like to vinyasa or play, go for it. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your left foot to your left hand. Warrior one, back heel down. Inhale to rise, hips facing forward. First warrior one of this class. So really press the outer blade, well, second warrior one, other side. Press the outer blade of your right foot down and spiral your inner right thigh behind you to square up your hips. Then bend your right elbow, left hand to right elbow, unless you've got a full bind. If you'd like to bring in the side bend, you lean over to the left. Notice how bringing the side bend in changes the stretch. It doesn't make it better or worse. It just changes it. Come back up to center. Wrap your right arm underneath your left. Eagle arms. Lift up your back heel. Press off your back toes. Find either full eagle or standing pigeon. For high lunge, untangle, press your right foot back, all the way to the back of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Your twist variation. Full cycle of breath. Inhale. Stay, exhale. Inhale, unwind. Plant your hands, three-legged dog. And if you would like to flip it, maybe turn your right hand out to a bit of an angle. Lift your right heel. Lower your left toes off of your mat. And then you play with variations here. And if you're not feeling playful, you stay steady. Stay steady with your breath. If you practice yoga long enough, you get, like some days are playful and light, and some days you just need to find breath. Some days you feel strong, some days weak. We'll meet in down dog, vinyasa if you'd like. And so on any given day, it's not about making sure you do all the right postures. For me, why I teach, it's about moving and breathing and finding center. From down dog, inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Once you arrive, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer. For tree pose, lift your left foot, plant it to your inner right leg, aiming for your calf or thigh, avoiding your knee. Your knee does not like to be pressed in that direction. And then you can bring hands to prayer. You can close your eyes and play with balance, or any other variation you like to work with. Fortunately, I have a wall beside me, so I keep falling into that. If you're off center, bring your hands to prayer in front of your chest. Bring your left knee forward. Inhale here. Exhale, standing splits. Press your left leg back and up. Bow your chest down. You can keep your hips square, like so. And if you flex your toes, you'll know you're square when your toes are facing down. A completely different stretch is stacking hips. All right, to play a bit, you're gonna square your hips. So if you look to your back toes, you can see them pointing down. You can point or flex your foot. Your left leg is gonna be super straight and your right knee is gonna bend, and you're gonna hop your right foot back to Chaturanga. Into your back bend. Exhale, down dog. If you wanna play with that a little bit more, you've got a few more breaths. That takes practice to figure out how much lever and how much power you need in your legs. To find Chaturanga, how much bend you need in your elbows. From down dog, inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Halfway lift as you arrive. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Tree pose, other side. Lift your right foot, plant it to your inner left leg. Hands to prayer to begin, and then you can begin to explore when your breath and base are steady. Bring your right knee forward and come back to center. If your torso or arms are off center, take an inhale here. Exhale, standing splits, right leg, back and up. To release from here, if you're out of square, you square your hips, plant your hands, and you play with the distance. Like you don't want your hands to be too close to your foot or too far. You play with the distance. With your right leg straight and your left knee bending, you're gonna figure out, and the only way you do that is by trying to pop your left foot back to Chaturanga. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale forward to high plank. As slowly as you'd like. I mean, you can bring in some push-ups here if you'd like. Lower all the way down to your mat. And come into Sphinx. So your toes are untucked, your quads are engaged. This is an active pose. Your forearms are parallel and you are imagining dragging your chest through your arms. We're going to move between here and forearm plank. Take an inhale, exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Inhale, lower your hips, untuck your toes. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips. Inhale, lower. Exhale, tuck. One more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, tuck. This time, walk your toes towards your elbows for Dolphin. This is a wicked shoulder opener. You can bring your hands to prayer. That makes the shoulder opener easier. And then you press your chest back towards your thighs. If you know how to go into Hanumanasana, you're welcome to. If you're working towards that, you can lift one leg, hold a few breaths. And then you switch sides, lower your right foot, lift your left. Lower your left toes. Walk your toes back. Come back into forearm plank. Lower your hips. Untuck your toes and then press into your hands and lift your elbows. This is seal pose. You're welcome to walk your hands farther back into cobra. So here, the difference between this and up dog is your thighs are staying on the earth. So you only go as far as you can with your thighs on the earth. If you would like to bring this into hanging cobra, Crystal, those of you who know Crystal, she calls this hanging cobra. You lift your hips forward, so you come into an up dog, and then you press your thighs down, bend your knees, and you press your hips down, head towards your feet. Release, roll all the way down onto your belly, and roll over onto your spine, onto your back, sorry. One more back bend, bridge or wheel or any other back bend you like. You set your feet hip distance and parallel. You can touch the back of your heels with your fingertips and then press into your feet. Lift your hips up. You can roll your shoulders underneath you to clasp hands. Take an inhale in your back bend. On your exhale, release your hands. Slowly lower all the way down. Extend your left leg long on the earth. Hug your right knee into your chest. Shift your hips over to the right, and then bring your knee over to the left for a supine spinal twist. You don't need to rush out of this pose when this side feels complete. You make your way into your twist on the other side, right leg long, knee into chest, hips over to the left, knee over to the right. Come back to center. Last posture is yours. Whether you want a thread the needle or a happy baby, a shoulder stand, etc. I'm going to lead happy baby, but if you're doing something that's one-sided, I'll cue you when to switch sides. So happy baby, you grab the outside edges of your feet are flexed facing the ceiling, and you pull your knees down. If you're in something that's one-sided, you can start to think about switching sides. If you're in happy baby from a bent knee variation, you can work into a straight-legged variation. Slowly release from here. Make any last movements you need to. Some people like to shake it out. Some people like to hug themselves into a tight ball. Some people like to cover their eyes. Whatever you need to do so that you can lay your body on the earth for Shavasana and support this process of letting go, you do. Once your body is on the earth, take a full deep inhale. And exhale, sigh it out. Letting go of conscious breath. Letting go of physical effort. Even letting go of thoughts. Sometimes I like to imagine my thoughts like butterflies that flit into my mind, and I cup them in my hands and gently and lovingly blow them back out so that my mind is empty and clear. Feel the weight of your body on the earth. And if it helps to imagine with every exhale, feel your body sinking into the earth a little bit deeper and a little bit more. Begin to deepen your breath. And bring some movement into your body to wake it up. Slowly roll onto one side into fetal position. And from fetal position, we are reborn. We rise back up to seated. With your hands comfortably placed in your lap and your eyes closed. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your chest. And before you move on with the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, just take a moment of pause and stillness for you. And check in. How are you doing? What is going on? Thank you for sharing this practice. I hope you have some beautiful moments today. Namaste. And if you have any questions, just let me know. My email address, let's see, purcelldeb@gmail.com. I think most of you have my contact information though. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.